Give me my theme music.
Unfollow me.
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 I ain't really want you to follow me anyway.
You got too much drama. Say that drama for your mama.
Keep that riffraff off my timeline. You and everybody you in cahoots with can unfollow me. Follow us.
Period. On all of them, okay? All social media.
Hey
Follow
guys,
me.
welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hey, y'all.
We made it to episode 5, y'all, and we're actually doing really well. Like the listens are up.
Okay.
If it's up, then it's up. It's gonna be stuck.
Yes.
And we really got to commend you, Jokeeta, on the last episode. Like, everybody was hitting me up like, she gave the blueprint. She gave the blueprint.
Hey,
and
listen,
Brittany, that
I'm here to give
moderation, though. That moderation.
Top tier.
It was really top tier.
Top tier.
You should consider that, for a long-term career, like being an interviewer.
Quit your day
something.
job.
I was trying my hardest not to do that deep inhale.
I'll do it for you.
For whatever reason, I have to inhale really, really hard before I speak. So I was trying to just hold it together. But thanks.
Be
you guys
yourself.
are phenomenal. And I cannot wait to jump into our topic today.
Ooh.
And man, thanks to our Unfollow Me, I guess, listeners. And I'm excited. I'm glad that we've got some engagement and that we've got some real valuable topics. So
Yeah.
today, what are we talking about?
We standing on business in the highest hill. Okay? And y'all will learn more about that in the moments to come. But, speaking of the last episode, real quick, somebody said to me, Jokeeta gave the blueprint, but I wonder if she'll give how she got those wholesale deals. So I said, to be continued. We will see if she shall choose to do so.
We can run it back one more time.
All
We
right.
can run it back at a later date.
Stay tuned.
I'm cool with that.
If you stay tuned and keep listening, you just might hear another gem.
Yeah.
So, but yes, y'all, today we are talking about standing on business in the highest hill. What is this about? What is this about? Well, if you are a woman and a woman who has been in, certain environments like corporate environments or real estate environments, we all know the stigma that is associated with being a woman who stands on business, aka an assertive woman, aka a direct woman.
A boss.
BAWSE. Not just boss, but boss, like
I
Rick
have to
Ross.
spell that out.
Oh my God.
Like Rick Ross, boss. But yeah, like we are all very familiar with the connotations that come along with just being that woman. And there are not enough conversations had about it. What do y'all think?
No, I agree. And, looking around the room, obviously, at Jokeeta and Calundra, who are also kind of they're a force to be reckoned with in their fields.
Say that.
But also in your social media, on your social media platform, and now in this new revenue stream that you are on. And then, of course, Jokeeta being Mogul Marzette and having to stand in spaces and stand on business, whether that be standing on your price, standing on your principles, standing on your time. It could be a number of things, but like what challenges that normally brings up when you're having to when that ends up putting you at odds with people. And it shouldn't, right? Because any man in the business that's assertive about what services they offer, what services they don't offer, or being a stickler on time, or just holding appropriate boundaries. And we've talked about that before in a previous podcast about holding boundaries. But as a business owner, as a businesswoman, what kind of challenges that bring up, and then how do you kind of remain steadfast, right? Obviously that wasn't a question, but again, I was just talking about like what our podcast is really going to be what it'll be circling today is just in the corporate arena, because obviously that's kind of where Calundra and I stand for the majority of our 40 hours during the week. But on the other side of that, like as entrepreneurs, where you also have to stand on business, and there are people that either won't speak with you directly, or they somehow believe that you're a little bit softer because you're feminine, or maybe that you'll be a little bit more lax. When we stand on business, we mean that.
In the highest hill. Okay?
Yeah. So
it reminds me of Love and Basketball. Whenever she got into it with the girl on the court, and she did say, like, I was just showing emotion. If a guy gets down here, a man basketball player, and he gets into it, y'all cheer him on. But because I'm a woman, it's y'all want to eject me from the game. Act like a lady. Yeah. And that literally speaks to the situations that I have personally found myself in. And not so much with the job I've had for the past 5 years, but in other areas, like, of course, my business, and then, past occupations and things like that. And I don't care how people look at me because I'm getting the job done. And it's not that I'm never a nasty person. Like, I'm never unkind. I'm always kind. But what I'm not going to do is LOL and sugarcoat and add extra emojis, proverbially. Just because y'all feel like people have to cater to your emotions, or you want a woman to come off, quote unquote, more soft. I'm going to be direct. I'm going to speak directly, and I'm not going to add the LOL. You know what I'm saying? Because, people add the LOL, and now it's so common these days. I find myself doing that just in the friend space. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that. And funny enough that you say it is that I received an email from a colleague at work on, I think, Tuesday. And she was like, oh my God, like, you're going to think I'm so silly for asking this question. I'm like, well, no, that's your job. Like, as an analyst, I'm supposed to provide you with information, data points, things like that. As a director or a leader, it is your responsibility to ask me questions. And if something is not clear, you are supposed to ask me how to make it clear for you. But I get, as an executive leader, how she might feel like she needs to, I'm so sorry to bother you. Ma'am, you're not bothering me. Ooh. This is your job.
Yes.
This is your responsibility. If you don't ask the questions, I bet you somebody in your leadership group or your executive team will. And at that point, you have dropped the ball. So I get it. Like, I absolutely get it. How some women will, I guess, in a way, make themselves small. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, oh my God, like, I don't want to annoy you. And I'm like, that's your job.
Yeah.
Annoy me. Yeah. I mean, don't.
Not like that.
Yeah, like, unfollow me. But
email me.
Yes, but I get, if your role as a leader in your organization is to make the decisions that may be unpopular, that means you need to ask. I would be concerned if you didn't ask questions. So again, just to kind of piggyback off what you said, like how it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to LOL and kiki or make yourself small just to get your point across. Just make your point and let the chips fall where they may.
The other day, same situation. This girl on Teams, because I'm responsible for approving certain things at work, and she sent me a message in our little group, and she said, hey, can you make sure, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, okay, yeah, no problem. And she came back and she said, oh my God, I didn't say please. Can you please? And I messaged back, you don't have to say please to me. This is what we do. And that's because people are so soft these days, and they want to be cradled and coddled. But y'all, we are at work. We're getting paid to do a job, and we are all working toward a common goal. This is for the good of the company we're working for. So none of that is necessary. Not saying that you're nasty toward them or being nasty toward them. It's just being direct because we don't have time to do extra,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I can almost bet you Jokeeta is not on her site. Like, oh my God, guys. So if you could just, you'd be like, no, that's uneven, and I need it to redone. Because I bet you when you had to repaint that Plano house, I don't like it. And repaint it.
They hate to see me coming. They hate to see me coming.
Yes.
And I made a post the other day saying how, like, when Dante comes on site, they're like, hey, Dante. And they see me, they're like, hi. You know, they're like trembling in their boots.
Please don't ask me to do something. Please don't ask me to do something.
Here she go.
They start trembling. Literally, here she go, y'all. Here she go.
Point out. Here she go.
Yes. And it's crazy, though, because now when I come on site, they're showing me we did this, we did that. You asked us to do this, so this is what we're doing. It took me a long time to get to this level of respect.
Yes, you established that in the beginning.
I had to figure out how to, as a woman and as a Black woman, how to garner this respect that is not given in this industry to women, let alone Black women. And so I have a new publicist. It's Dante's niece. And when I told her my story, you know, she wanted to know some things about me. She was like, I had to do some research, and I found out that less than 10% of Black women are general contractors. It's less than 10%. You are in a space that is not really occupied by people that look like you. And I was like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell y'all. I've been trying to tell y'all, like, when I walk into a room, they aren't expecting, you know, me to be in charge. They're not expecting me to be the boss. And really quick, I had this one flip. It was actually my second flip house ever. No, third flip house ever in Grand Prairie. And my neighbor called me because somebody like hit a gas pipe in the backyard or something like that. They were trying to rob my house or something like that. So they called the cops. Cops came out. I rushed over, and the cops is talking to my neighbor, which is now one of my contractors. He's talking to my neighbor, and, you know, they're talking about it. And I'm like trying to insert myself in the conversation, trying to get information as well. And he was like, okay, so who's the owner? Y'all, I have been standing here for about 10 minutes. And he was like, so can we get the owner on the phone? And my contractor, he looked at me, he said, she's right here. Like, this is the owner. Why do you think she's standing here? He was like, oh, wait, this is your house? Yeah, it is. And he was like, but they said this was an investment. Do I look like I don't deserve an investment house? Like, what are we doing here? So this topic
Check your bias, buddy.
Is sore for me because it's an ongoing battle of demanding respect, being labeled aggressive, just getting a different response or different tone from my male counterparts.
And not only do we get it from men,
we do get it
from
women
men.
Too.
Yeah.
I've
had come from women too.
Countless situations where I've encountered this with women.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, don't be mad because you want to be this way. Like, you want to be little sugar, what they sell to girls, little sugar sweet Tweety bird. Like, what does me having to, like, what does me excelling at my job have to do with you? Like, you literally have nothing to do with this, but you want to insert yourself and, well, you just too direct, and I didn't offend you. This has nothing to do with you.
People will not like you because you're you. Because you're you.
That's it. And they would try to find something to hold against you with no receipts, mind you.
That's what we call haterade.
No receipts.
Drinking haterade.
No receipts. But, you know, I just had to insert that because we are supposed to stick together, women.
Okay.
But you sitting there hating. Of all colors. Creeds, colors, and kinds. And I'm very much a girl's girl. So it just throws me for a loop.
Yeah.
Because it ain't supposed to be that way.
Well,
I gotta take a look.
How do we overcome it? Is the question. How do we get there?
Stop hating. That's it. That's it.
Stop drinking the haterade.
Yeah. But I think once people realize there's enough to go around, right? And I think people operate out of a place of scarcity where they feel like, you know, it can't be Calundra because, you know, because there's only one spot. It can't be Jokeeta because it's only one spot. It's got to be Brittany, right? But until you kind of let go and operate from a place of abundance, right? Like, I mean, if you're a believer, right, you understand that what's for you, what's meant for you.
Come on now.
Right? Like, what's meant for you, you will get it. Like, you just have to, be patient, and also don't block somebody else's blessing. If you see a coworker really doing the work and putting in their time, but if you find that there's an error or an opportunity, that's not a place for you to undercut them, right? That's an opportunity for you to help lift them up.
Yeah.
If that's a place where you shine. And I don't know, I feel like maybe I was just raised this way. So, if you find that you can add value to somebody else's situation or whatever the case is, it's nothing to be kind. It costs nothing to be kind.
And collaborate.
And who knows, you might learn something. There is never a time where I've been with Calundra or Jokeeta and I haven't learned something.
Same.
And I can't, I just feel like I can't operate in my professional space like I just know it all and I have to get to this top spot. You can only kind of get to a higher place, by collaborating, by sharing a diverse way of thought and kind of getting that information from other people too. So let's not be crabs in a barrel, ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Each
that.
one teach one. All the cliches, but use your knowledge to help the next lady.
I have another little story. Oh my gosh,
Please
this
tell.
is so timely.
Do tell.
So y'all know I just switched to the Vibe brokerage. I just switched to a new brokerage, and shout out to Sasha. The reason why I'm even there, when I came over and I was like, hey, it is important for me to feel safe and protected in a room full of Black women, because it's not a Black woman brokerage, but it's majority African American women and men. But I was like, hey, it is important for me to feel safe, because, it's been a struggle for me to feel safe in this environment, and I need to feel protected.
Yeah.
And she was like, baby, we gonna take care of you. We got you. There's enough money out here for all of us. There's no competition. There's no lack. And she just was going in, and then she's been putting my name in these rooms and just, helping me overcome some things that I struggle with public speaking and things like that. She's really the reason for a lot of this stuff. People are like, oh, I keep hearing your name. And I'm like, from who? Sasha. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl don't even know me. And here she is, trying to make me feel safe and protected and wanted in a space. And I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
So shout out to the people, the women, especially the Black women, who have that mentality of making another woman feel safe and protected, wanted, uplifted. Shout out.
Yes.
Shout out.
This one's for you.
Yes, this is for you.
This one's for you, Sasha.
And you can do it too.
You can do it too.
Yes, listeners, you can do it too.
You can do it too.
I promise you, it makes the workspace so much easier. It makes it so much lighter, but it kind of garners, or it creates that space where people can give their best work.
Yeah.
And believe you me, if you are a leader of a team of women, you want to make sure that they are comfortable and they are safe and they feel like they can give you honest and genuine feedback that you will listen to.
Yes.
And that you can also take to heart and apply it if necessary, right? And try not to take it in the wrong way. I think that's probably the biggest opportunity that I've seen in professional spaces and others, is that when people are presented with some genuine and honest feedback,
for sure,
sometimes it's met with a little bit of
haste,
hostility,
offense.
Offense, lots of things.
Defense.
But I have learned at this stage in the game that you kind of have to take it as if it was meant, and take it for what it was, take it for what it's worth. You know what I mean?
And the character of the person,
right?
the
character of the person. If that person has genuinely been invested in your goal and invested in you, then obviously the feedback is coming from a place of respect. Hey, I want you to prosper. Here's some feedback for you. And I feel like the only way we can get better is if you are able to receive said feedback and take it in stride.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say on that.
That's that on that. No, I
ain't
agree.
Nobody cutting off my leg.
Big mama. Big mama, your leg.
Big mama, your arm.
Ain't nobody taking my leg.
You did that too well. But no, that is so true. Like the feedback part. I personally welcome feedback, especially from people, that I've worked closely with and that I can trust. Now, I'm not just about to go around asking randoms. For example, if I was to ask somebody that I don't know who listened to the podcast, how did you think of, how did I sound? Or do you think the information I gave, was good enough? Oh, no, thank you. And it's so important to be teachable, especially in a space that you don't have any professional experience in. Right. You have no schooling, you have no training, and out here these days we can do things willy-nilly. Yeah. And we could be good at certain aspects or certain things in that field. However, it's always great to have a professional in your pocket or on your team that has gone through the extensive training, teaching, coaching, because you want to succeed. You want to set yourself apart. Yeah. Yeah. As far as, our topic of, being assertive women who get that negative association and connotation, there's this quote that I came across like probably a year ago that I was able to pull back up. And it pretty much describes it to a T. And it says, your courage becomes offensive when you are less afraid of the world than they think you should be. So many people put their fears on you. Yeah. And not even maliciously, not even noticing. For example, here's an example. I remember when I used to work at a law firm, and I'm over here just, typing, and this lady comes up to my little desk, and she was like, I said something about my wrist, complaining about my wrist. She's like, you have carpal tunnel. And my mom has always taught us to not let anybody speak over us. And if they do, say something fly.
Rebuke it.
Yes, exactly. Do not receive that, because life and death lies in the power of the tongue. And I've always taken that with me. And I was like, oh no, I'm pretty sure I'm good. I'm pretty sure it's not carpal tunnel. It's not that serious, But just don't let people convince you of, something that may not be factual, because life is a mindset game. And there's so many things that can get into our minds that will affect how we see things. There's some things that I never used to be offended by until people on the internet start telling you to be offended by certain things, So it's a huge mindset game. So we never let our fears, or we never let people place their own fears on us. If we have courage to be ourselves, to be direct, and to have a job well done while doing all of that, then don't let somebody come up and tell you that you need to be somebody else just because they can't get the ball rolling on their side, you know?
I receive that. I went
on a whole little tangent.
I receive it though. Because basically you're saying you're a force to be reckoned with when you don't allow those fears to, control you like the next person. And then the next person, now they're feeling all insecure maybe, and they're feeling some kind of way because they're like, wait, you're not scared to do that? Oh, yes, I was taught to be scared to do that. What are you doing? So
listen, what that reminds me of? What? When you were about to do that house with the pool, and you asked me.
I was so scared.
You're like, should I?
That's the house I was talking about too.
The Plano house.
Yeah, no, that was the Grand Prairie house. The house where the cop wouldn't look at me.
Oh, that was that one.
That was that house. Mm-hmm.
You said, should I? This is like David when he said, should I pursue the Philistines? He said, should I do this house with this pool? I said, you shall without fail recover. I said, girl, do that. Yeah. Do that. And that was many houses ago. Look at you now. Yeah. Because there was some naysayers. There was some naysayers.
I had a few people that told me, nah, don't do it. You don't want to do no pool. You don't know nothing about no pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there were some naysayers. So look at Jokeeta, y'all. Look at Mogul Marzette. Look at Momar.
I don't like a lot of attention. Don't look at me too much.
But I'm saying, do not let people discourage you. You don't know who you could be. You might know who you could be. Right. But people might tell you who you can't be.
And then you start believing it.
That is such a mindset thing. That's why I'm always, preaching to myself, okay, my mind has to be strong. Because there are times when people try to tell me who I was. Yeah. Because they didn't really know me. But they want to put their projections on me, or they want to place their insecurities on me. Mm-hmm. And it don't just happen to me, because I know if it's happened to me, it's happened to probably everybody, So don't let that consume you.
I agree.
Get out your feelings. Get out your feelings and get you some healing.
Stand on the highest hill.
On the highest hill. What kind of hill is that? A red bottom.
We rockin' stiletto.
But anyways, yes. So my stance, whenever they want to come to me about being just how I am, like, do you want this company to succeed or not? Like, do you want the revenue?
Do you want some money or no?
Do you want the money?
What are we doing?
Because I can get the job done. I don't know what that can cover for me. But that's my point, though. Olivia Pope, although she is a fictional character,
not in my book. She real.
That part, like, I literally, like, since when I was younger, seeing that show, I literally model my business approach with not the infidelity and the adultery, but how she was like, it's handled, it's done. Like, she stopped at nothing.
Consider it done.
Everybody wanted her to be their fixer. Yes. Yeah. Like, she stopped at nothing for what? For the good of the Republic. Everything was about the Republic. B613, they had a lot of the people that just much like the CIA does to us now. But hey, it's for the good of the Republic. We got to keep it stable. We don't want people thinking, that we off our game.
Yeah.
We got a lot of them. I ain't saying I do that. But I'm just saying, you do anything that you got to do by any means necessary.
It's the passion about this topic for me.
Y'all know it's personal.
It's the passion.
Y'all know it's personal. And with that, though, being a woman, it comes along with feeling like you have to play society's game to get ahead in your occupation in the appearance arena. The style, the fashion. Like, social media has done a horrible job at representing, like, how business people should be. Like, you look at the realtor space. Everybody all dolled up on these little flyers.
It's
like,
killing me, y'all.
This what you got to do to sell a house?
Fighting for my life.
You sell a 30-inch bust down, because that's what I need in order to buy this 3-bedroom, 2-bed, 1,800 square foot home.
I'm fighting for my life.
The question is, are you selling the house or
I just want to wear sweats and a ponytail. What are we doing now?
It's a lot, because I noticed, even with the little text people, what are they called? Text people. They got the arms folded
they
on
not
the flyer.
CPAs, I tell you that. Because you know how many times I was looking for CPAs?
Yes,
oh, no, I do taxes. Baby, you need to clarify. Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry.
I remember you looking.
You can cut this out. Sorry, I was just getting upset.
No, we ain't cutting that out, because they need to be told. But
y'all need to tell the truth.
But be on the flyer with the folded hands and then the heavy makeup.
And
I ain't knocking makeup at all. But it's like, dang, you really have to play. People probably feel like they have to play this game. Like, oh, not only am I selling whatever I'm selling, but I'm also selling this persona.
Yeah.
And I think people now have conformed, because they feel like that's what they have to do in order to be successful. And I hate that it's come to this.
That's the space I'm in right now. And I know that in order for me to, like, get in front and people to see me, I have to do something. I have to do something. And I try to be different, but I do know that I have to do this dolled up look. I have to go put this cute outfit on. My hair got to be done. My nails got to, you know what I mean? That's what sells. If this is what you want to do, you kind of got to look the part. And it's not that I don't enjoy it. Sometimes I do, but I don't want to do it every day.
Like, every time.
Yeah, it's like every a level above professionalism, because it's not enough for you to just make sure that your hair is neat and your skin is clean and you have on neat clothes. Now you have to make sure that you have on the Louis Vuitton belt.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you have the newest and the latest fashions, and you also have to make sure that your hair is that of.
Exactly.
I don't know, but again, I can see how distracting that can be, especially for people who are kind of easily bought by that. Yeah. Like, if they don't necessarily care that you have a degree or that you have experience, or if you have, I don't know, just long or lots of networking or whatever the case is. It's like, number one, how she looked though.
Right. And then you have to, in this space, in this realtor space, you have to have the closing gifts. Oh, who's giving the best gifts?
Louis
who's
Vuitton
giving
bag.
the best? You know what I mean? It's like, it's no longer about the education and the knowledge. It's about
the gimmicks.
It's about the gimmicks, and it's fine. The gimmicks are cute. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give you the closing gift anyway. But now it's like, who has the best one?
Yeah.
I'm in a group, a Facebook group. It's a DFW Facebook group, and somebody posted, What realtors are doing the balloons and the flowers at the end of the when we close on the house? I want a realtor that's over the top. And I posted on it, and I was like, listen, I'm here because this is how we make money. But it's like, consumers want to know. They don't want to know what's the best realtor that's going to negotiate me the best deal, who has the best lender that's going to give me the most credits and down payment assistance. It's who going to give me some balloons and a cake when I buy my house.
And she can do that herself because that don't cost that much.
It don't cost
Who
that
will
much.
give me the champagne with the little cutout key so I can do my boomerang.
Boomerang,
Closing.
And no shade, y'all, because it's cute and it's something that I'm still going to do because I enjoy it. But it's like, that's not the purpose.
Right.
You know, and now we're making it the purpose.
It's shade over here.
Now we're making it the
that's
purpose.
all the shade.
It's shade over here because I didn't get those things. I had to sign my paperwork in the car.
Oh yeah, COVID.
But
I got mine doing the Penny Wendy, but it's all right. I'm gonna do it again.
You gonna do it again.
I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna have my key and my champagne.
And the balloons. Don't forget the balloons.
And my balloon.
And your balloon.
Yes.
And then here go me putting interior design stuff. I didn't went to Target, but I enjoy it. I enjoy. This is something I enjoy. So it don't.
Interior
hurt
design
me.
stuff.
Girl, I got my last clients. Girl, I got them some stuff from Target. I just got them like a little decorating starter pack. But I was gonna do that regardless. That's just me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
just who I am.
you. That's who you are, Moga Mark.
Yeah, that's why I don't mind that part. But let's not make that the focus.
About that. Yeah.
Like choose me because I'm a general contractor and I can help you walk through this house and make sure you're making the best. One of the biggest decisions of your life. I'm gonna make sure it's one of the best ones that you're making.
Shop. You're a one-stop shop.
You know what I mean? Hire me for that. Don't hire me because I can come in and remodel your house because I can. Don't forget that, guys. But so.
Yeah, that's a really good.
This is the struggle
point.
that I'm having.
That's a good. I'm glad you have that perspective to provide.
Yeah.
Because it's a very good example, and I hope that people who listen to this are not focused on the what do they call it? The smoke.
The smoke and mirrors.
Smoke
because,
mirrors.
And actually, I can't remember what TikTok I watched when some girl, I guess she was watching something about I guess that pattern hair care product or whatever. But because Tracy Ellis Ross is like so gorgeous and her hair is so beautiful, but it's like you forget that woman is half and half. Number one, and then number two, she is not a chemist. Okay, she is not in here mixing.
Edge cream didn't do nothing for me.
Yes, so it was like but I'm easily bought. It could just be some pretty packaging, and I'm on it. And I'm like, that it will get you in a world of trouble. One thing I will appreciate about so far the realtors that I've worked with is that they. And I don't know why I just went directly to, realty or realtors.
Because that's the big thing right now.
Right.
Yeah.
But like the first one that I had for my first house, like she was knowledgeable just about the structure of her home. And like, Jokeeta, when you talk about the roof and the foundation and those big things, like she could spot it. Like as soon as we got out of the car, like, okay, this is something you need to be concerned about. This is what you need to be concerned about. But let's go ahead and take a look. And then, let me know what you love, what you hate. But she also kind of helped me when I finally selected my property. She like helped me walk down everything that I needed to make sure that I addressed to make sure I was comfortable in my home. Yeah. But also it just made me that much more comfortable that she knew like she's not just trying to sell this house to get her percentage. Right. She wants me to be happy in this home. Right. So that way when I'm ready to buy a home again, I'll knock on her door again. You know what I mean? Like, so this time around I may not be using her, but I know I'll keep her in my back pocket.
Absolutely.
And like honorable
mention.
Honorable mention. But I said that to say that there's
bitches don't pay the bill,
right?
No, I'm just playing.
but there are so many high quality, and again, we talked about this before. There's enough money to be made out here for everybody. Yes. But what I was saying is that finding the value in those experienced realtors, real estate agents, you name it, but finding that kind of quality and that kind of experience. Now that I don't care if you got a little gray wig on and a muumuu. If you if you know what you're talking about, then I won't worry about the cosmetics of it because I know that you know how to read contracts. Shout out to my aunt. Shout out to my aunt. Yes, my aunt Beverly Giddings with one West. I can't even speak appropriately.
You better write that down.
But again, like it's important to me that if I skip over something that you catch it.
Absolutely.
And you make it clear to me, because one thing I don't like is being surprised at closing or whatever the case is that I got to come out X amount of dollars. So what I love about my realtor, currently my aunt now, is that she makes it very, very clear about what is going to be expected of me. Because me, I'm a bottom line person. Just talk to me in dollars and cents. And that's what you need. I don't want anybody, oh yeah, you qualify and this is perfect. It's the best house. It fits right in your budget. Okay, what else? Like what else? Tell me what's right about this house. Tell me what's wrong about this house. Obviously you can't sway me with your, with your opinion, but if you know facts, you need to tell me these facts. Yep. You need to tell me the facts. Yes. But I say that to not get too far off topic is that try not to get too bogged down in the cosmetics of it all when there's true value in some quality people that don't really subscribe to the 30-inch bust down with a full glam and this Armani suit or whatever else. Like, they look neat and they look put together, but what you need to be more impressed by is what they know and how they can help you kind of secure your deal or get you where you need to be.
Right. You can't take that 30-inch bust down, that Armani suit. It's not... Once you get in this house and that pipe bust or whatever, that's on you. That they don't care. Oh, they didn't tell you should get a plumbing inspection. Mm-hmm. You can't take that aesthetic with you.
Exactly. So. And let's not limit this to women, because I know you've had experiences where you've had, the male type of realtor.
I don't want to go too far into it.
We won't say specifics.
Yeah, I'm just
but it'd be men out there too that look the part and talk a good game, or just clout, smooth talker, clout chaser. Maybe got a look clout.
Yeah.
Or maybe a realtor look like all this hides or something. Like just because they look the part, don't mean they got the heart.
Yeah.
Bar. Okay. So, realtors also have a lot of networking events. Yes. I don't know if y'all noticed. Like, I end up at networking events, and, 90% of them are realtors.
There's so many realtors out here.
However, though, a tip that I learned at a networking event with somebody who wasn't a realtor, who was the speaker, they were like, put yourself in events where everybody there is not the same profession as you.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be people there who need a DJ one day.
Yep.
If you're a DJ, or if you're a bookkeeper, they have clients.
Yeah.
So you network with another realtor, but then they'll have clients or businesses that need commercial properties that also need bookkeepers.
Yeah.
So speaking of networking events, I personally, I don't like to network. Yeah. And people think that I'm just
so
naturally.
Hard.
It's hard.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of those girlies. Like it's on my list of things to do. I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off. And please finish your thoughts so I don't overdo it.
No, it's fine. It's dialogue.
Sorry. No, it's one thing as I am kind of stepping into this new era of my career that I wanted to make sure that I got in spaces and connected with people that are in a different profession than me, so I can make sure that I have a network of people. Like LinkedIn has been a great tool for that, but also like going to conferences and things where I have to pay like a membership or what have you, and shaking hands and doing that whole thing is so hard, and I don't enjoy it, and it feels so weird, and I don't so I don't feel authentic. But I don't know, like I know it's a necessary. I don't want to call it an evil, but I just know that I do not particularly enjoy it, but I know why it is necessary.
You gotta get uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know how many times I've heard a mentor, somebody say, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm always uncomfortable.
Straight. Go straight there.
Go
straight there.
To be honest, I'm always uncomfortable. Like when I go to networking events, but people would never know. Like,
but everybody knows you.
Yeah, people would be like, oh my God. And I'm actually introverted. So I'm recharging. If I know I have a network event coming up, I'm literally mentally like, okay, let me get ready. Because I do have a friend, her husband, he puts on networking events like every quarter. And I go to support. And again, 90% of them people there be in real estate. But I always meet somebody that have a need for a photo booth or a DJ.
Yeah.
Obviously, my husband has that business. So I'm always meeting people.
Shout out to Exhale.
Shout out to Exhale. Event Productions. And, you can call me the manager.
You need a DJ, you need a photo booth, what you need?
Yeah.
I got you.
Specializing in weddings. But, like, people are always like, oh, we don't have a DJ here. We don't have a person that does special effects. We don't have photo booths. And I'm like, oh, well, great. And they're always eager to connect. So I've made these connections, and I'm like, wow, if I hadn't have come, then I would have never established this relationship.
Right.
So, another topic today that we have is where it was similar to one of our bars of the week. Don't let how leaning on the crutch of having social anxiety can hold you back in life, business, and walking in your purpose.
That's for me.
You got to get out the house, and I know it's unfortunate sometimes because we just want to be home. We already got 1,000 other things going on, but sometimes you really just got to get out the house. And I would say if you're uncomfortable going to networking events, make sure you go to events where you have someone there. Some advice that was given to us when I did a connect lunch with the speaker, he said that there's always an introvert, and he said if you are that introvert, pair yourself with somebody that is the extrovert, because they'll be kind of your
that buffer or that opportunity for you to kind of, oh, this is my friend so and so, and then you can just interject, make your little introduction or whatever, and hopefully the I guess the natural flow of the conversation will go in the direction that you need it to. But if not, then that's when you kind of have to have a come to Jesus moment, like, okay, if you don't say anything now, it won't get said. And what they say about closed mouths or
they don't get
legs or whatever, but that's what they say. I mean, I'm leaning on Players Club references, so y'all pray for me.
Okay. Gotcha.
But the whole networking thing, and I think just a small caveat to that too, if you find yourself going, for those who kind of like challenges, like I just challenge myself. Like, don't you sit in this room with all these people and not talk to at least 2 of them or 3 or whatever whatever helps kind of coax your social anxiety or whatever. If it's just 1, then let it be that 1, but you cannot fail yourself. Steps. Yeah. Like baby steps. Set a goal for yourself. I'm going to introduce myself to one person that matters. I mean, not necessarily, but I'm just saying, don't just introduce somebody that's walking by, but like, you know what I mean? Like if you are sitting in on a panel or if you are watching a keynote speaker and you find some value in what they're saying, like make it your objective before you leave that event, that networking event, to speak to that person, introduce yourself to that person. And then at least when you get in the car and get ready to go home, you can say, you know what? I feel a little bit better about, maybe something came of it, maybe something didn't, but that's just that gets you one step closer to going to a networking event and grabbing your glass of Chardonnay or whatever. And hello, my name is hello, or having a business card on you. So it's just baby steps. I'm not all the way there yet, but again, just tasking yourself with introducing yourself to a couple of people and then just slowly progressing until you are the life of the party.
I love that.
Listen, there have been in the past couple of months, like when I do go to those connect lunches, sometimes I have an intention of not talking to anybody, just to be, just being real. Like I'm like, oh, I'm just here for the food.
Hungry girl.
But I've ended up having exactly to a T, to the heart. But I end up having the speaker randomly came up to me before it started. So that's another tip. Get there. Maybe try to get there early.
Yeah.
And on a smaller scale, you might even meet or talk to people one-on-one, or there's not very many people around that would make you feel anxious. You just never know what will come of it. So, but to the flip side of that, though, there are some networking event junkies. Like, you don't need to go to that many networking events in a month. And I personally feel like sometimes, or at times, we can, there's a fine line between that and then opportunism. What do y'all think about opportunism? Y'all think that's a thing?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. When people do it for they do it for the they're in there for the hype and the lifestyle, but they're not in it for the
clout.
Yeah, for the clout and the lifestyle. They're not in it for the work. They're not in it for what they can truly get out of it, or to even help somebody else. It's like if you're just in there for likes, and for appearances, then I mean,
what you there for?
Yeah, what are you there for? And what do you really want to come of it? Obviously, we all got the same 24 hours in our day. Do you really want to spend however many hours at this networking event just schmoozing and brown nosing and doing all that for what? What exactly are you trying to accomplish there? Yeah, it is. Now, if you go in there with a mission, like, you know what, I need to get 2 or 3 people interested, or get their eyes on my business, or get them to take a look at my performer, or whatever the case is. Then if you have an agenda, then go in there and by all means get to it.
A solid
agenda. But if you're just in there like, okay, well, I'm just gonna see how many followers this person got, how many followers that person got, and see if we can collaborate and see if we can get how many hits and how many likes, then obviously it's not gonna work. It's not, obviously it won't work. But you gotta,
who cares about followers?
Not the Unfollow Me podcast.
We're trying to get them to
unfollow. But thank y'all for following though. Yeah. Because that's another thing, like the whole appearances game. And I hate also, although I'm a content creator and a social media manager, I still have principles and values that I stick to. You know, I don't like the buying followers movement, because people do it. And then really, really attaching yourself to a person just because they have so many followers. Again, people probably bought those followers. And it's just really very superficial. So, you know, again, to emphasize and reiterate, our whole title of our podcast, or our name of our podcast, Unfollow Me, like, we don't care about none of that. Like, we don't even care if we have 2 followers. As long as we following each other and following the Lord, that's really all that matters.
Okay, girl, you didn't say we was preaching today.
Who was?
You didn't say we was preaching today.
Oh, well, we preaching today. But it's like, please, like, let's have some substance about ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, some networking events. You don't have to be connected with everybody, because guess what? You're opening yourself up to too many people. You're making yourself way too susceptible to certain, I hate to even say spirits, but that just because you want some hand claps or you want some clout, like, you have to keep your values and your principles in order, you know? And that's all I got to say about that.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Because it's just so easy to lose your values in this life, in this generation, in this age of social media, and neglect your original mission.
With that spirit of comparison, you want to be like the next person.
Ooh, yeah.
You want to, was my event better than this event?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Because you're running and you're running and you're running, but you're not advancing because your motive's all off.
Yeah.
You know, stick to who you are, and I guarantee you'll succeed. And if you found yourself gone too far, you can always come back.
Find your way back.
And redirect yourself, because it's a terrible game out here. And I'm emphasizing this because people tend to lose themselves and then they wonder how they got there.
Yeah.
But just know I care and I understand. So take heed.
Take heed.
But seriously though, I'm very passionate about that, because with my social media clients, like, they're like, oh, I got to do this trend. I got to do that trend because I need the follows. I need the views. I need the likes. And you really don't.
Yeah.
You are local in the DFW. Your business does not service outside of the DFW. So why do you need people from California who ain't planning to move to Texas following you, or like, they're not going to be converted into customers, and your mission is to convert them into customers or whatever you're doing. So I said that's all I had to say about that, but obviously it wasn't.
She had some more to add on it, but it's clear and it makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's all we're trying to do on the Unfollow Me podcast, is try to make things make sense to you guys. That's all.
Monique.
Be authentic.
I love us for real. There.
I love us for real. Yes, don't be an opportunist. Be authentic. Just and be you. Like, ultimately, this runs back to our original theme. Like, be yourself, and who cares who don't like it? You know, like, the people will come who are for you. And like Brittany said, like, what's for you is for you.
It won't pass you by.
It won't. So if people ain't rocking with you and you feeling away, like, that is totally okay. Just focus on the ones who are rocking with you.
Yeah.
In the way that you would like for them to.
Yeah. And stand on business, ladies.
In the highest hill.
Business, okay?
In the highest hill.
And it's okay to be your authentic self in the workspace.
So, you know, people speaking fear into your plans. Now, I know I just said that somebody in California, it don't matter if they following you or not, blah, blah, blah. But obviously this is situational. But when we started this podcast, we didn't really tell too many people about it. I didn't tell anybody, but obviously the co-host.
Yeah, I kept it pretty close too, because I believe that as well. It's like people will either speak fear into your plans, or they'll just speak it openly, not realizing that it might kind of it might plant a seed of doubt, and I didn't need a seed of doubt, right? So I like, do you even know how to do a podcast? Have you done a podcast before? Like, no, I haven't, but I'm gonna do it now, and what I need is your support,
right?
And if you don't have support, then shut up.
Yes, quickly, because it's obviously I hear a lot. Everybody got a podcast these days, Well, cool. Like, that's
go listen to one of them.
Right.
Go listen to one of them.
We ain't everybody.
Yeah.
We us. So you know what? How about you unfollow? Unfollow me and my life, what I got going on. And that's why I didn't tell you nothing. But yeah.
And true unfollow me saying true unfollow me fashion, just finding ways to bring you in, just to push you away. Like, we keep you at arm's length. We love y'all, but at arm's length. Yes. We love y'all at arm's length.
Mm-hmm. Like, people were so surprised, and I've had a podcast before with friends in the past, and I enjoyed doing it. I genuinely enjoyed doing it. And people might be like, "Oh, another one." But again, that's why I kept things to myself, because people unintentionally and not maliciously will just kind of try to discourage you. I mean, maybe not try, obviously, but people are always saying, like, there could be a comment that could sway you, just like we were talking about earlier. So
I got something to add.
Please do, because I was just about to ask.
It's on topic, but it's like a little off topic. But here recently, I have learned that I have to. So I'm not a gatekeeper, right? I'm not gonna keep that gate. I'm willing to share my knowledge and things like that. But what I've learned is the spaces you feel most comfortable in and most safe in, those are the spaces you may have to keep that gate. You may have to gatekeep, because I have some personal experiences here recently where I went to this event, an event that I won't go into too many details, but an event that's every 60 days it happens. Me and Dante were always there. We're with other like-minded people, and someone was at that event in my safe space, my comfortable space, and I allowed that person to infiltrate the things that made me happy and comfortable and safe. And then I no longer felt safe in that environment. And then there was another same like thing, but another event, somebody else came. And I'm just like, I have to like protect my safe space. And I don't know. I don't want to be a gatekeeper though. I don't want to like, because hey, it's enough out here for everyone. This is a good experience. And hey, but at the same time,
protect your peace.
Protect my peace and my space and my mind frame and my spirit. And I've just learned like, I share a lot and I give a lot. I can keep some things to myself.
Yes.
Some things are worthy of just keeping to me. So
yes.
Like with this podcast, and that just made me think like, you just can't allow people to just constantly infiltrate your safe spaces. You can't.
And that, I remember one time I read in the Bible, the scripture, I've actually read it more than once, but when Mary was told by that angel that she was going to be carrying the Son of God, it said that she pondered these things in her heart. She wasn't just running and telling everybody, like, hey.
Y'all, guess what this angel said?
Like, I'm about to big up. Like, I'm about to be the mama of the Messiah. Like, Messiah mama. Right.
Better respect me.
Sometimes you got to ponder things in your heart.
Oh, man.
And I hold that very closely.
That's good.
And I had to learn that for myself. Like, even with being, like with Jonathan, he always make these red beans and rice, and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna give this person gifts. And it's the simplest thing, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep some things for myself, because first of all, you don't need to be cooking for nobody else. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to keep things for yourself.
Yeah. I used to feel guilty, like, oh man, if I don't tell everybody everything about how I made money and how I did this, and I don't put everybody on, I'm a bad person, or like, what are they gonna think? What are they gonna do? No.
Free yourself today.
Stop infiltrating my spaces.
Yeah. People have not done the work to earn your loyalty. And that's something people have to earn, because that's trust.
Yep.
And like I said on the past episode, I'm huge on trust.
Yeah.
Because I've learned, just through the years that people can show you one thing and give it a few months.
Turn around and do
they're going to be
nothing.
somebody else.
They can do it. Man.
So just know and don't feel guilty about keeping your space and your peace protected.
I am forever here now to protect my space. I have lesson after lesson. You're just supposed to just have like one lesson, right? You're just supposed to learn one time.
My girl,
I didn't have to learn about 3 times.
My girl. We love you, though.
I didn't have to learn.
We love you, though.
That's all right. That's all right. Just as long as you learn the lesson.
Hey, it took me a few times, but I got it.
It'd be like that.
Well, closing thoughts, because I feel like we had a nice, valuable conversation. We talked about feedback and standing on business.
Boom, boom. And the highest hill.
And networking and obviously reaching back and supporting the next lady and obviously being your authentic self in the workplace or in your entrepreneurial space. But all those things, obviously, it's a fiber, I believe, woven into the Black woman. And this is just truly my belief, is that we are all pretty, what's the soft way of saying, like, not stern, but you know what I mean? We have our principles, when we say it's up, then it's up. Or, when the number is the number, then usually, and this is what I know to be true about the women I've grown up around, is that they are unapologetically like leaders, and they stand on what they said, right, wrong, or indifferent.
You met my mom. You know my mom.
Yeah,
and same thing.
Yes, Miss Angela also stands firmly, stands firmly. On her father's business, okay? On her father's business.
Am I not to be about my father's business?
Yes. But I said that to say that and again, this is just what I believe, that most Black women are kind of inherently leaders, or have that kind of power in your voice and how you approach and address things. And I just say, don't make yourself small for corporate America or for the space that you're in, and toot your own horn and
toot.
Yeah, toot your own horn.
I like this quote Calundra put in here in our notes. It says, don't worry about what I'm planting. Just know you'll know when it's reached fruition.
Oh, that's the next bar of the week, y'all.
I like that.
Yes.
I forgot to put that.
I like that.
Don't
worry
Who
about
did they
what
homework?
I'm planning.
Don't worry about what I'm planning.
Just know that you're going to get an unfollow. No, I'm just playing.
Dang.
Just get on board. Get on board.
Yes.
That's all.
That's it. All right, y'all. I think this was great. This was a great discussion.
I love it. And I love y'all. And I love our followers, even though I say unfollow me. Even though I say unfollow me, I love you guys.
Yes,
Thank y'all for tuning in week after week after week.
Y'all don't have to unfollow us because y'all been tuning in. So the faithful few, that will do.
The faithful few.